Welcome back, everybody, to yet another short video of what's going on. I am your host, Jacob Carlson, and today, in this short video, I want to simply talk about a subject matter that is not particularly popular with anyone right now, or ever, and that is politics. Now, why in this particular case would I talk about politics when I could very easily talk about literally everything else in this world right now? Well, first off, I perfectly and totally understand precisely why politics is the least favorite subject matter for anyone to talk about in the first place. The last 10 years alone have been pretty bad for a lot of people for entirely different reasons, but of course for the same end result. Everybody's mad, everybody's outraged, and everybody is trying to look for solutions where some could exist, but with little to no avail, unfortunately. And pretty much a lot of people can get caught up in the noise of campaigns and election years and commentators trying to gaslight the audience and trying to tell you that your mind is not made up when you really need to consider all the facts and all the opinions about what the candidates are doing. So I perfectly and totally understand that whole thing right there, right now. I almost fell for it myself, and I hope I never do. I hope I never do in my life. But in this particular case, as I've previously mentioned in two videos on my YouTube channel already talking about politics, my first video, I talked about briefly how that even though I will not support individual political candidates who run for office at any level from the top to the bottom altogether, I would not rule out the possibility that one day, sometime in the near future, that I would actually support or even advocate for a political movement that actually pushes for actual change in our political system overall. Basically, a maintenance overhaul of our entire system, so it could at least act a little bit better for all of us. So that was the first video in which I talked about that. The second video, I touched upon very specifically Andrew Yang's Forward Party political movement, and that's a movement that I'm fast becoming a fan of at this point, where they're currently now, as of right now, running candidates for the Forward Party in both Colorado and Pennsylvania at this moment in time, and I could not be more proud of them for that. It's slow and steady may end up winning the race because their movement is growing, but it's very slow. It's very slow paced, but we need it more than ever right now. And if you haven't heard of the Forward Party, I'd recommend you go give it a try. I've also previously just touched on a little bit about Fair Vote, which is also another grassroots movement that actually pushes for ranked choice voting across the country, across the United States, that would allow people from third parties to actually run and actually win for once. So that's what I talked about in those previous two videos. Now this will be the third video that I bring up this topic of politics and potential real change of the system. But in this one, I want to talk about very briefly Represent Us. Represent Us, basically, very simply put, is a grassroots movement, grassroots campaign that's been up and running since 2012 at this point, over 10 years. And basically, their goal is to pass at the local and state level, until eventually reaching federal victory, anti-corruption legislation and anti-corruption laws all across the country. Basically, also ending gerrymandering and also ending dark money and campaign finance reform and all that exciting and very boring stuff that people don't really want to talk about. But people are really fired up about corruption, alright? There's these two videos that I recommend called Unbreaking America, where both Jennifer Lawrence, of all people, and Michael Douglas as well, basically talk about everything that I'm briefly touching upon right now. Represent Us is making a very successful case, not just for themselves, but for all of America at this point, that the system is broken and that there is a way to unrig the system. There is that corruption is the issue behind all the other issues, and if you can fix corruption, if you can get rid of it, then every other issue you care about, you can easily pass a law on it, and it can actually be done. So basically, that's the end all and be all of that movement. Represent Us is a movement pushing for anti-corruption laws all across the country. Okay, and you might find them every now and then here on the streets or out there trying to pass laws at the local level in cities and in towns and of course counties and states until eventually they reach federal victory one day. And I could not be more proud of them for that. And I'd proudly support Represent Us when given the chance. I'd advocate for what they do the whole way through. And also, I want to briefly bring up the fact that even though politicians rarely change their minds, our former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson just changed his mind about ranked choice voting. I just recently found out, and he says that he's all for it right now. He was against it before, but now he's for it. And that's a miracle. That's a miracle in this day and age. And it just goes to show that the worst thing about a politician could also be the best thing about them. They can change their minds. So with all that being said, my name is Jacob Carlson, and I'm a huge supporter of Represent Us and what they're trying to do. Please, if you want, I know this video is not to your liking, but if you like this video, I would be very appreciative. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video with people you know and love if you want to. And I would ask that you please take care of each other out there, be nice to one another, and I'll see you in the next couple of videos. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.